Well, hello and welcome to This Month in Hamilton, our November 2022 edition. I want to start out by thanking WBCB 1490 AM as allowing me some opportunity each and every month to talk to you about what's going on this month in Hamilton. Want to also thank our sponsors, Angelo Onifrey in the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office, Haldeman Ford Subaru, Capital Health System, Radiology Affiliates Imaging, and Saul Funeral Home. This month, we have a guest who'll be joining us in a little bit, part of the JRH Center. So we're going to have Joe Halsey joining us in a little bit. He runs the JRH Center out of our Homedale School. A lot of exciting things going on that he'll tell you about, and really exciting for me to see what he's been able to do in just a short amount of time, converting a basement that had been vacant for years and decades into now a functioning studio for youth in the area to learn essentially a craft, especially in the arts, in the film industry. So really exciting stuff, and we'll have him with us a little later. I want to talk to you a little bit again about what's going on this month in Hamilton. Start out, today is November 22nd, 2 days before Thanksgiving. So I want to wish each of you a happy Thanksgiving. Hope you get to spend some quality time with friends, family, and loved ones, and really enjoy Thanksgiving. 2 years ago, November 2020, it was a much different time. Many of us were worried about spending Thanksgiving with large families, and now we're in a much different place. So as you reflect on what to be thankful for this year, certainly spending time with family, with friends, with loved ones. I hope you all are thankful for that, as I am. Some exciting things going on this month in the township. The first weekend of December, we have our Winter Wonderland event, and that Friday night we are doing the Christmas tree lightings, and my staff has been in contact with Santa, and Santa has promised to make an appearance right around 6 o'clock at night to help us light the Christmas tree in Cooser Park. Always a great time, always a great experience. We have Cooser Mansion open again for the first time in several years, so we're really excited about that as well. And hope you can join us, Cooser Park, again, the first Friday and Saturday night of December. What we say is a rain-snow date of the following Friday or Saturday night, but hopefully we don't experience either one of those things. But the tree lighting specifically would only be the Friday night at 6 p.m. So make sure you get there. Make sure you get there early and dress warm as well. I want to touch base on something. We just had our election 2 weeks ago across the country, and here in Mercer County, many of you know there were a number of problems that prevented a smooth election process this year in Mercer County. Want to thank many of our county elected officials who recognized it and are not holding back in calling for investigations and conducting those investigations. Just last night, our county commissioners had a public hearing having representatives in from many of the vendors who were involved in the process, many of the different governmental organizations who were involved in the process, to really understand what happened, what went wrong, why it happened, and how do we fix it to prevent it from the future. All of us take free and fair elections for granted, as we should. We've historically, in our country, been able to rely on that. And so when things go wrong and it calls into question the fairness of the process, it really erodes trust in government. So having free and fair elections is vitally important. And my hope, and I know the hope of many, is that this was just a blip, and that those who are in charge of the process fix it moving forward. But to do that, they first have to understand fully what went on, and I know they're fully diving into that, including our prosecutor's office as well, to make sure nothing was intentionally tampered with that could potentially be criminal. So I'm sure in the days and weeks and months to come, you'll hear more on that. I know in Trenton on December 13th, they have a runoff election for some of their council positions. So it offers the county another opportunity to have another shot at making sure the election goes smoothly. So we're hopeful for that as well. But I just want you all to know the township as itself has nothing to do with the running of elections. Our clerk helps out with some of the administrative tasks and the like, but running elections here in New Jersey is a county system. And so many of you have called, emailed, Facebook message, all sorts of things us about the election concerns you have, and we share those concerns and we've passed them on to the county. Quick update on our municipal complex. Many of you have seen the signs at the intersection there of Clockner and Whitehorse Avenue. Again, we've partnered with the school board. We've partnered with the Mercer County Improvement Authority to really get us through this process and build a unified municipal complex that'll be half filled by the township government, half filled by the school district. Very excited to say that continues. Bids were recently returned for the architect and some of the ancillary professional services along with that. And the Mercer County Improvement Authority will be making their selections with our input at their December meeting. So the design of the building will start in earnest right at the start of 2023, and we're still shooting for a goal, a move-in date goal by the end of 2025. So looking about a 3-year or so period from today in November, December at the end of 2022. About a year for the design and the bidding, and then about 2 years or so for the construction. So everything is on track, and we're looking forward to continuing our work with the school district and the MCIA. As part of the design, when we meet with the architect, we will have some public hearings because we want input from the public on what you'd like to see on the grounds, what you'd like to see in the building. Obviously, part of the benefit of having a joint complex with the school district and the township is having one meeting space, whether it's for a school board meeting, a planning board meeting, a council meeting. This way, no matter what public hearing and public meeting you're going to one place, right? And that it's technologically equipped with screens and such, so as a developer applicant is showing plans, they can be projected on the screen so everybody can see them wherever they are in the room. But we need to make sure, obviously, the room is big enough, that the microphone system works well, all those kinds of things. So really excited about all of that. More to come, but especially to hear some of the public input from you all who will attend those meetings that we'll have probably in the springtime of 2023 to get your input on what you'd like to see on the grounds of the building and inside the building as well. A few other things going on. Many of you call and email very early in the season, this fall season, on leaf collection. So we promise always to make one pass in every neighborhood for leaf collection. Obviously, if we passed your neighborhood at the end of October, many of your leaves probably weren't down by that point. And at this point, I think just virtually every leaf is down. I don't see too many trees still holding on to leaves at this point. We do our best to make a second pass on all those neighborhoods so that if you missed the first pass because your leaves weren't down or you didn't get any opportunity to rake them, etc., we can always have the opportunity to go back again. But there's always other opportunities. If you bag leaves, we have a number of drop-off locations in the township, including at our ecological facility, that you can drop off paper bagged leaves as well. They can't be still in the plastic like garbage bags or things like that when we come pick them up. We do recycle them. We try to turn them into mulch and compost, etc. But obviously the plastic bags, they don't go well, especially with the machinery that grinds all that up as well. The plastic obviously hinders and gets stuck on that machinery too. So for those of you who still have leaves to be collected, you can still leave it at the curb. But if you want it out and done, especially as you're starting to have friends and family over maybe for Thanksgiving and places for people to park, there's a number of spots you can drop those leaves off. And you can call our Hamstat line or visit our website and get that information as well. Another thing, obviously many of you know We're now nearing the end of 2 years of our fire consolidation process. It's really a multi-year effort to fully integrate the 8 fire districts with the township government, but something all of you have enjoyed for many, many years was Santa Claus working with our fire department to drive around the different neighborhoods as it got close to Christmas to say hello to your kids, your grandkids, or maybe even just yourself enjoying stepping outside your door on a cold winter's night and waving hello. I'm proud to say and happy to say that Santa has reached out to our fire chief to coordinate again riding around town on a fire truck, something Santa really loves to do to really get to Hamilton, to see all of you and to see the kids. So we're very excited to have Santa working with our fire chief to be back again this year, driving through neighborhoods. Obviously, sometimes our firefighters get calls while Santa's enjoying his drive that they need to respond to. Santa doesn't mind it either, gives him a little something different to see. Hopefully there's not too many of them this year and we can get around to all the neighborhoods. But obviously if our firefighters do get a call during the middle of their run, they have to take that as well. But many of you will see Santa right around the middle of the month driving through your neighborhoods with our firefighters. So we're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we'll be joined by Joe of the JRH Center to talk about all the exciting things he's got going on. Again, in the working with our youth, our area youth in the essentially almost like an internship to the film industry. And I know he'll say it better than I do on that. He's got a ton more experience in this area than I do. But just a lot of great things he's doing, making sure the youth in the area who are interested in arts, interested in entertainment, really have an opportunity to get some hands-on experience and develop their own craft, develop their own skill, develop the confidence that they've got what it takes to make it in an industry that many think only exists in California. So we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll be joined by Joe.
Capital Health's primary care network continues to grow, bringing its extensive option of locations to your neighborhood. Whether you're scheduling a wellness checkup or not feeling well, advanced medicine starts with a Capital Health primary care doctor at locations near you in Mercer, Bucks, and Burlington counties. To find a Capital Health primary care location that's convenient for you, visit capitalmedicalgroup.org. That's capitalmedicalgroup.org.
This is Angelo Onifree, your Mercer County prosecutor, and I'd like to take this opportunity to wish all of our Mercer County student athletes the best of luck, and also urge parents to stay involved in your children's school activities. Extracurricular events are a great way to keep your sons and daughters focused, and it does not have to be athletics. They can be involved with the drama club, the school band, even the debate team. An involved student today has a brighter future tomorrow. This message is brought to you by the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office, and I hope you enjoyed today's game.
Radiology Affiliates Imaging has been part of the Hamilton community for over 50 years, with 2 convenient locations, RAI Chi Hamilton and RAI Lawrenceville. We offer expertise in all areas of imaging for all members of your family. Our board-certified specialty radiologists offer expertise in women's imaging, interventional radiology, musculoskeletal and diagnostic radiology. Whether you need an MRI, CAT scan, ultrasound, mammogram, or X-ray, we offer the latest in imaging technology and interpretation. In the last 50 years, RAI has earned our place amongst the largest and most respected radiology groups in our area. For more information on all RAI has to offer, visit www.4rai.com.
Well, welcome back to This Month in Hamilton. I want to again start out by thanking our sponsors, Angelo Onifree in the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office, Capital Health System, Haldeman Ford Subaru, Radiology Affiliates Imaging, and Saul Funeral Home. So, Joe, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate this opportunity.
It's my honor. It's my honor. We've gotten to know each other a little bit over the last probably 2 years or so now, right?
Yes, sir.
Since you first got into the Homedale school building there. but a lot of exciting things that I want to make sure our town knows, like what opportunities kids have here, right? That they may not really be aware of. So, but before we get into that, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, ironically enough, grew up 5 blocks from the Homedale School.
Wow.
So it's definitely a coming home for me. You know, that school has a lot of symbolism for me as far as growing up in the neighborhood. We are challenged like everyone else to keep programs running during this time and keep growing, and we're doing it. And thank you. I would be remiss if I didn't start off with thanking you, your amazing staff and council and all the other elected officials in Hamilton, because you gave us a space when we truly were at a point where we needed one. Prior to that, we were jumping around from different locations doing the program. But one of our greatest attributes is access to equipment that most young people wouldn't have. This is tens of thousands of dollars worth of equipment.
Wow.
that really, in order to learn the craft, you need to work on. And we really needed a place to house this equipment and to be somewhere consistent for everyone. And before we even get started, again, thank you. Your staff is so amazingly helpful and kind. I think we spoke about that. And council, it was a really easy process. Mm-hmm. I thought it was going to be more challenging, and it wasn't. It was phenomenal, and we couldn't be happier to be under your jurisdiction in Hamilton.
Well, what you've done in the basement there at Homedale is nothing short of amazing, having seen it technically before you moved in and now as you've moved in, right?
Yeah.
And the transformation that it's undergone. And really, because now of the neighbors you have there too, right? With Campfire, with Boys and Girls Club, it's a nice little nonprofit community almost.
It's fantastic. It really is. It's such a great family because coming up, I don't have the dates, and please excuse me for that, but because Campfire's taking the lead, we will have a neighborhood Christmas day on the weekend, and we all participate as a building. And last year it was a huge success. The whole neighborhood came out. I did have glitter on the floor, which I still didn't get it up. I told them no glitter this year. Please.
Good luck. Good luck with that.
Right, but it's such a great family that we have there, and we're all serving young people, which is another thing that's just so great about being part of that building. Big brothers and big sisters and Campfire couldn't be a better neighbor, friend, or family for what we're doing. And we all do things together now as a unit, which you're stronger in numbers.
Absolutely, right? And you give wraparound services to youth who maybe have grown up in difficult circumstances or been presented with difficult circumstances or a non-stable environment, right? Having kind of those wraparound organizations, multiple touches, really gives a lot of kids who need that stability.
Right. Well, and post-COVID, even young people that are in, let's just say, more stable environments as far as a family is concerned, there's more challenges that we're faced with. There's a mental health issue of being alienated and secluded for so long. That and the challenges with false information that they're gathering on social media, and that's part of the reason why we started the program, using media the correct way, using it for your benefit. We have those conversations all the time because we are a media world. We're not even a media country anymore. Everyone uses media. It's our main source of marketing now. So that's part of the reason why, one of the reasons why we started this program, because there also is a job readiness to this. There's a lot of people out there. Most Fortune 500 companies now have their own in-house production team because they found financially it was better for them to have younger people out of college, pay them a really nice salary to come in, film all your in-house videos, film all your social media videos. It's the number one form of marketing. Traditional marketing is out the window. So if you know how to film, edit, and
Write scripts and all that kind of stuff.
Write a little bit of copy.
Yeah.
The job readiness, and it's going to keep growing because I'll tell you right now, we're in the process. You know, we have someone who handles our social media, and we're not even that big, but it's such an important part of a business that's only going to keep growing. The job readiness for that is only going to keep growing.
So explain a little bit. We've probably gotten ahead of ourselves just because
yeah.
of our familiarity, right? But for those listening who don't know what we're talking about, right?
Right.
What are we talking about?
So what we're talking about is back in 2017, I reached out to Kim Cody at Big Brothers and Big Sisters, who was there at the time, who now is signed up to be my partner in this in this venture, and I thank God for her every day. We were looking. I was in the film industry. I was making a narrative film, and I needed some basketball players, and I wanted to use local Trenton people, and I wanted to use people who, you know, could use the experience and have some fun. Long story short, we turned out meeting with a group from PEI Kids, another one of our partners in this venture of helping youth, and there was a question, what would you do if you were mayor? And I started hearing these answers, and I'm like, this has to be documented because no one understands. So let me just digress. I learned from that. As adults, we feel that we know what teenagers need and want, but we're not there anymore. We're not in their shoes. We're not walking in their shoes. So why not ask them? And ironically enough, there wasn't a lot for teenagers. There are a lot of nonprofits helping a lot of great people and doing a lot of great things. But there isn't a lot for teenagers if you're not involved in sports, if you're not after school doing sports. All of them were connected to media. They all said YouTube star, influencer. Well, okay, so now we can use independent filmmaking, which is our base. We teach independent filmmaking from conception to finish, to teach every aspect of media, all the way down to budgeting.
Wow.
Okay, so we are starting Let's Film 2.0, and the first thing they get is a fake $10,000 budget to do their film. Good luck. Show me what you have. So I came up with a program. I presented it to Kim. She fixed it, so it would work well. And the program really is to get young people exposed to every aspect of media through the art of independent filmmaking. So you learn how to write scripts, which is writing copy. You do have to get up, even if you're shy, you have to get up and do a monologue because you have to learn what it's like in front of the camera before you get behind the camera. You learn editing, cinematography, production. Production is business 101. You learn directing. You learn how to actually post things on social media so they're a little more proper. And that process lasts for a while. And then we just kept growing from there. We kept seeing, you know, the greatest thing about our program is we just listen to what they want. And then we find a way to get a grant, and then we teach it. So that's honest to goodness how we built this program. We were jumping around, as we said, for a couple years. You know, thanks to a friend of yours, Mayor Reed. He gave us the basement at Sam Naples, you know, for a couple years just to go down there and get this program started. And I thank him for that. But again, the challenge was we needed a home. And we needed a home close to all the high schools. Trenton High School, Nottingham, Hamilton, and we needed to be able to pull all those in. We also needed a safe place for some of our young people from Trenton to go, because there is some people may not be aware of it, but there is a ward segregation issue with some of the young people. West can't go to East can't. So we wanted to be on neutral territory. But then we found this, and honestly, that home is amazing to us. And then we were looking for a name for this foundation. And I looked back and I looked at all the mentors I had. And my best mentor with helping young people was my father. So that's where James R. Halsey Foundation of the Arts came from. Because that's what, you know, my dad worked 3 jobs and coached our Little League team. And he picked every kid that nobody wanted. So I was on a Bad News Bears team my entire life. My entire life we were on the Bad News Bears team. whether it was baseball, basketball. We just had the worst kids from the neighborhood on our team. And he took everyone's strength and exploited it and created a good team. And that's all it was. It wasn't that we weren't creating, baseball players and basketball players for the future. We were giving kids confidence, my father would say. And that's what we're doing now, I hope. I really do. I hope we're doing that. We have an amazing mix of young people everywhere from Burlington, Princeton, Trenton, Hamilton.
Wow.
And you put a camera in their hand and you put an idea in front of them, and the creativity just takes over.
Now, a little bit about yourself, right? You didn't get into this without having your own backgrounds in the arts.
Yeah, I did that New York thing for a little while. I had my day in the sun. It was fun. It was a great time. I lived in New York. I'm very grateful and blessed for the career I had. I worked. I worked as an actor. I did, and that's a difficult feat in that industry, to actually work in that profession, and I had a good time. But as you start to grow, there's that step where you're either going to make a really nice living out of it, or you're just going to make a living, and then so I got into construction instead. and then I started making independent films. And right now, one of the things we do as a film company is we do a lot of documentaries in the city of Trenton.
Oh, wow.
And we just finished up through a grant from the Attorney General's office. It's called I've Been Shot. And we interviewed survivors of gun violence. So if I could just wrap this all up in a bow, turns out there's a lot of females that are involved in that survival part of gun violence because they're the bystanders of what happens. And through that, we found that there's not enough for them. There's not enough follow-up for them. So
for the trauma they've experienced.
For the trauma that they've experienced. And hence a new program, Healing and Harmonizing. So it's for young women who have experienced any type of trauma, but predominantly gun violence, violence of any kind. And it's for 18 to 24-year-olds. And they just come and we do fun things with them. They do vision boards, journal night. They're going to have pajama and movie night. We're going to do yoga. And it's all under the guidelines of just getting together as a group and just knowing that you're not alone.
Wow.
And we do that with another great partner, Catholic Charities. They come in and they just kind of oversee the group for us. They're therapists, and they just oversee the group and make sure everybody's okay.
Wow.
And that's how all of our programs are born, pretty much. From,
as you said, just listening to people, right?
Just listen. Yeah, they know what they need. We just have to listen to them. We had, I notice a lot of times, as I get further into things, we like to parade young people into a room of adults. I don't even like going into a room of adults and having to speak. Not alone, I can't imagine the intimidation if I were their age. So we go to them. Make them comfortable. You be the uncomfortable one and ask them the questions. You be the one that's the minority in the room as far as age is concerned. And then ask them what they need. That's when you'll find out the real story.
Wow. So, Joe, we got to take a short break. But when we come back, I know there's, a lot more we need to talk about as well. So stick with us, and we'll be back with Joe in just a little bit.
This is Angelo Onnerfree, your Mercer County prosecutor, and I'd like to take this opportunity to wish all of our Mercer County student athletes the best of luck, and also urge parents to stay involved in your children's school activities. Extracurricular events are a great way to keep your sons and daughters focused, and it does not have to be athletics. They can be involved with the drama club, the school band, even the debate team. An involved student today has a brighter future tomorrow. This message is brought to you by the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office, and I hope you enjoyed today's game.
Merrill Reese, here to tell you about my good friends at Haldeman Ford Subaru on Route 33 in Hamilton Township. For outstanding sales and service, you can depend on the folks at Haldeman Ford Subaru for the best value on new and pre-owned Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs, along with a great selection of value-priced new and pre-owned Subarus. And no one offers the service that Haldeman does in their huge, state-of-the-art service facility. Service so great that many area municipalities and commercial fleets Get their service performed by Haldeman Ford Subaru. From Langhorne to Princeton, folks like you to commercial fleets trust the name Haldeman for sales and service. Haldeman Ford Subaru, Route 33 in Hamilton Township. Capital Health's primary care network continues to grow, bringing its extensive option of locations to your neighborhood. Whether you're scheduling a wellness checkup or not feeling well, advanced medicine starts with a Capital Health primary care doctor at locations near you in Mercer, Bucks, and Burlington counties. To find a Capital Health primary care location that's convenient for you, visit capitalmedicalgroup.org. That's capitalmedicalgroup.org.
So welcome back to This Month in Hamilton. Want to again start out by thanking our sponsors: Angelo Onifree in the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office, Capital Health System, Haldeman Ford Subaru, Radiology Affiliates Imaging, and Saul Funeral Home. So Joe, when we left, we were talking about some of the programs you're involved in and things like that. So somebody who's listening today who maybe has a youth who thinks they have an affinity for media, right, for entertainment, what are some of the things you're offering? How does somebody like that get involved? What do they do?
Yeah. So the core program is called Let's Film, and it's for 14 to 18 years old. Okay, that's how we developed the first core. That was the essence of who we are, was teaching independent filmmaking, and it starts off. We start taking new applications for each program in January, but we also have a no-wait policy. So if you have a child who's interested, just go on our website.
What's the website?
It's jrhfoundation.org, and just email us or hit the register button and just bring your child in, because what we do right away is we'll just put a camera in your hand and just go. We don't have a wait policy, because what we do is we'll start our new programming up in January. But from that, we're now developing. We found that there's young people involved, but that program is 6 months to learn and produce and film and edit your own film. We found that could be a challenge for younger people. So this year coming up, we're going to do Let's Film Junior, which is for ages 10 to 14, but we'll do 2 10-week programs. 6 months is a lot. 6 months is a heavy load for a teenager in high school, unless they're serious about going to school for film and media. Our goal is that after you're with us for a year, you'll be passing everyone in, filmmaking 101 in college. We want to have you ready for school. You're going to surpass everyone if you go for film and media. So after that 6 months, the editing process happens, and every February we have a red carpet night for them. The following February, we have a red carpet night, typically at Mill Hill in Trenton. It's a nice, it's such a quaint theater, and it works really good. And they show their, because we do public service announcements with them as well. They write, film, and research their own PSAs from the bottom of their heart, what they're passionate about. And it's been everything from mental illness to basically cleaning up and recycling the world. So we have the gamut. And we highlight them. They get to walk the red carpet. They get to do the step and repeat. They get to show their work. They go up on stage for a Q&A, and their work speaks for itself, and they become stars for that day. And they are. They truly are stars. So those are some of the programs. We also started this past summer with the help of JJC, the Juvenile Justice Commission. We did 2 programs, Acting 101 and Photography 101 for 10 weeks. So we're starting to break out some of the programs that we found some of the youth are more apt to take. Some of it, everyone doesn't want to commit to that 6 months, and I understand that. So, if you want to come in and learn acting for 10 weeks or learn photography for 10 weeks. And ironically enough, with our program, it's so fun because you can stay in as long as you want, because the project always changes.
Sure.
So if you're a director or an actor in real life, you don't do one film and leave, right? You do many.
On to the next one, yeah.
You're on to the next one, and that's the greatest thing about the program and the way we set it up, there's always a new project. So if you come to us when you're 14, and now what a lot of young people and what parents may not understand is if your child wants to go to a good film school, your child better have a reel for whatever area of the arts they're going into. If they're a director, they should have a director's reel with at least, that last 2 minutes and shows that they were working on 3 or 4 projects.
Wow.
Actors, if you're going into acting for film, you should have a reel of different characters. That's part of their portfolio. So the goal moving forward is if you come with us and you really want to get in there, you're going to have a reel by the time you leave and a pretty good resume of work.
Sure.
And again, the programs just keep building from there.
Now, how's it been? You've got kids, you said, from all over the area, right?
Yeah.
A Princeton kid and now a City of Trenton kid, right?
Yeah.
They both come the same day or what have you, and they're plopped together. How's that interaction been?
It's amazing. First of all, there's a lot of things we could say about the generation coming up that they're not doing that we did. But there's one thing that they really are doing that's a lot better, and they are more accepting of each other as different cultures than we've ever been.
Mm-hmm.
And we have every culture in that room at the same time. And once you put that project on the table and they're all working together, none of that matters. None of that matters. I'm blown away of how open this next generation of teenagers is as far as just, it doesn't matter what your choices are, how you dress, your religion, your race. None of that matters. They are so non-judgmental. So if there's anything to have hope for as far as moving forward, I have hope for that. I do have hope for a kinder world as far as not prejudging someone based on their looks.
Not judging a book by its cover.
No. And when you put a project in front of them and they're working together, you'd be surprised. I'm sitting there going, you know what? And I'm dating myself, but I'm looking and I'm going, that would never have happened when I was a teenager. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't have. It wouldn't have, just based on our prejudgmental mind. We wouldn't have sat at that table and worked. And it's, when I tell you, again, dating myself, that class is the rainbows of Benetton. It truly is. It's truly a rainbow of great young human beings working together. And they're all going different paths. They are all going different paths. But I even explained to our students who are involved in business, knowing this, knowing media, because it's your next step in saying, hey, we need to promote X, Y, and Z. Even if you become an entrepreneur, knowing how to do media is going to be very, very important. You could save a lot of money doing your own media. So again, it's a program that we've listened, they built, and as far as staff goes, I told you how great yours is. My partners in this are amazing.
Yeah, you're not doing this all by yourself.
No, and everybody worked for free for the first year and a half, 2 years.
Wow.
I couldn't pay a dime. And they kept coming, and everyone from Stephen Tillman, Kim Cody, she runs the organization. Anyone who knows the organization knows Kim runs the organization. I'm just out here. But Jimmy, all these young, back to another generation of 30-year-olds who just gave their time. And they didn't know that it was going to turn into more of a paying gig down the road. They were giving me their time. They really were. They were giving the program and these kids their time. There are so many people, that take part in this that I can't even list the names of all the people that really, truly help out and really keep things moving and getting us to a point where we're like there.
Wow.
The space was built on love and a lot of care. There was nothing involved but care. Yeah, I'm lucky. I'm a lucky guy to have all these people doing all these things, and I just get to come out here and shine. Hey, thanks.
Well, I think the kids feel the same way, right? They're lucky to be involved and have somebody and an organization and a group of people that are looking out for them, right, and trying to help them gain the confidence and experience and training, right, to build a better life for themselves, to have the opportunity to build a better life for themselves and their future family, because that's really what you're creating, right? You're creating opportunities for the next generation.
Yeah, and it also, listen, it also rules some things out. If you think you're going to be a superstar, and
I thought at 6 years old I was going to be a professional baseball player.
Right.
That didn't work out so well.
Right, when you got up there to high school ball, you're like, oh, okay, wait a minute, that's not going to happen. So, and again, there's so many different aspects of filmmaking that help us teach other things. But more importantly, and a shout out to Kim Cody, what we found that we do also. We want our young people to go on and further their education, whether it's tech school at Mercer County, Tech, or if you're going to college. And what we found is there's a lot of young people who need some help with their essays, filling out college applications, filling out FAFSA forms. Kim Cody is a professional at that. And then we have another young lady who joined our team, Casey, who graduated from school with a writing and acting degree. She's helping write essays. Because where your challenge lies with is, one, you can't ask the public school to help right now. They are stressed. Parents, please give them a break. They are stressed. They are understaffed, and there's a lot of young people to take care of. You can't ask for those extra things like we used to. Mm-hmm. There's not a counselor that sits there and can help you with that. The other thing is in our community, right near Homedale, we have a working class Latino community. Some of them, are new to the country. They can't, you can't expect them to understand these FAFSA forms and these applications.
Complicated, yeah.
They're complicated for me.
I vote by mail going back to the election. It's complicated for me to make sure I'm doing the right envelope in the right sequence. Otherwise, my vote doesn't count. Right. That's just a vote. What alone is your future?
Yeah. So this is a service that as young people come to us, you now are our family. So we are helping our family, get through that. And then, so another thing that every parent should know is, as you drop your child off, there is pizza and chicken fingers waiting every week. There is nothing worse than trying to teach a hungry human being, not alone a hungry teenager, after they've just been through carrying heavy book bags through school. So during that mealtime is when we get to walk around and we get to talk. Just, hey, how you doing? Becomes a family meal, just like the old family meal. Let's talk about how your week was. Let's talk about how you are. What's going on? What do you need help with outside of the program? And that's one of the things that we pride ourselves on, because it's not that you're just coming there for that. You're coming there to be part of the family, and we're going to help you with whatever you need. To be honest with you, need to find somebody that can take over that full time for Kim. We are looking for another staff member to help with that.
Don't steal mine.
Okay. No, I would. I would, but I wouldn't do it to you. But no, that's what we're looking for next. Honestly, it's not even the programs are running great with the staff that we have, but we need to fill in these ancillary holes that we didn't know we had with dealing with teenagers. It's a challenge.
Oh,
it really is, and it's a challenge. Parents, both parents are working all the time. Keep the household together. How are they going to find the time to help out with college applications and essays and all that? So we are forming some good partnerships, and we continue to do that to kind of streamline our kids into this process of going to school. I'm not against tech school. I love it for a lot of our students. Please shout out to Mercer County Community Tech. Keep those young people coming in, men and women. There's a lot of great jobs out there for that. But if you're moving into a different direction, let us help you. We'll help with anything. And some people, some young people can go to Mercer for the first 2 years. I think it's perfect.
Perfect. Well, Joe, we're going to take our last break here.
Great.
And when we come back, we'll continue to talk about the foundation.
Radiology Affiliates Imaging has been part of the Hamilton community for over 50 years, with 2 convenient locations, RAI Chi Hamilton and RAI Lawrenceville. We offer expertise in all areas of imaging for all members of your family. Our board-certified specialty radiologists offer expertise in women's imaging, interventional radiology, musculoskeletal and diagnostic radiology. Whether you need an MRI, CAT scan, ultrasound, mammogram, or X-ray, we offer the latest in imaging technology and interpretation. In the last 50 years, RAI has earned our place amongst the largest and most respected radiology groups in our area. For more information on all RAI has to offer, visit www.4rai.com.
Merrill Reese, here to tell you about my good friends at Haldeman Ford Subaru on Route 33 in Hamilton Township. For outstanding sales and service, you can depend on the folks at Haldeman Ford Subaru for the best value on new and pre-owned Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs, along with a great selection of value-priced new and pre-owned Subarus. And no one offers the service that Haldeman does in their huge, state-of-the-art service facility. Service so great that many area municipalities and commercial fleets get their service performed by Haldeman Ford Subaru. From Langhorne to Princeton, folks like you to commercial fleets trust the name Haldeman for sales and service. Haldeman Ford Subaru, Route 33 in Hamilton Township.
Well, welcome to this month in Hamilton. I want to again start out by thanking our sponsors, Angelo Onifree in the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office, Capital Health System, Haldeman Ford Subaru, Radiology Affiliates Imaging, and Saul Funeral Homes. So, Joe, what keeps you going with this? What keeps you going with the foundation, wanting to just every day kind of take on more, continue doing what you're doing?
I'm just going to digress back to family. These young people become our family, and again, you know, back to this generation. It's so nice to see how friendly they are across the board with different cultures and different ideas. That keeps me humble, right? Makes me go, okay, we're good. Also, you know, there's a creativity at that age that you don't get back when you're an adult, because it just skyrockets, and it's so nice to see that. It's so fun to see that. And another thing, back to the crazy people who started this journey with me. I owe them a ton. You know, I owe them to keep this going, because they put their faith in this getting bigger and more young people coming through the program. And outside of that, it's just, you know what, it's fun. It really is. It's fun. It's a good time. It's
A lot of laughs, I'm sure, right?
Oh yeah. It's challenging. The work is challenging, and the different personalities are challenging. But at the end of the day, you know, we create a chaos of a film set, which is just, to me,
I've never been. You have. I've never been, but I can imagine.
There's
right?
thousands of things going on everywhere, because one of our main missions is that you're hands-on. So you can't put everybody hands-on everything. So we have 4 instructors every time you come, and we split you up into groups. So there's one group filming over here, there's another group writing over here, another group editing over there, and it's just chaotic. And it's controlled chaos in a really fun way. And I just walk around and check on everyone, and everyone's doing their thing. And you know, the ideas that these young people have for our future world are good. I'm letting you know that. You know, they are conscious of their surroundings, and they're kind to each other, and they're also kind to the surroundings. I think we're all right. I think we're going to be okay. May not be a lot of laborers running around, but we're going to be okay. And that it just takes one class, and you know, you remember why you do it. It takes one student hearing secondhand how important the program is to them, and then seeing them at mealtime. Like all of a sudden you look and there's people talking that wow, they became friends too. Oh, this is great. Look at, and that's the fun part about it. The other fun part about creating a film is there's something new all the time, and they have new ideas, and it's all their ideas. We just help facilitate it in a direction where it's manageable. We can't do helicopter scenes. I try and explain that beforehand. They try and write them in, but or mass, marching on the Capitol scenes, going down the Trenton, getting that trying,
Maybe not the best idea.
Not right. No, it's too much money. Back to that budget, getting courtrooms. I'm just saying, look, we set this place up so we can film everything here and outside. But that aspect of it is fun. Also finding things to do with them, that related to the arts. The arts are very therapeutic. That's another thing that people may not understand, but writing and filming and editing and engrossing yourself in developing a character is it's meditative, as you start to work on it. That's what keeps me going.
Freeing a little bit, right?
Yeah. And it just so happens that this whole thing, media and learning how to use a camera and edit it, it's turning into a career. It's turning into a good profession. So I just hope, if anything, what young people take out of the program, whatever they go on to do with their life, is that they take out teamwork as well. Every year we do our film on a weekend, and something always happens. One of your actors or somebody who's important possibly gets sick or has to go away, and they learn. Oh, when a team member drops out, you have to learn to pivot. Which our two mantras are: love the process. I preach that almost every other class. We all grow up, as you said, with aspirations of sports and heroes and movie stars, but I tell them, love the process of what you're doing. Don't love the outcome. If you're looking for an outcome and you're getting in the entertainment industry, you're going to be very disappointed because the odds are highly against you. But if you love the process of auditioning for a role, creating a movie, writing a movie, editing, you're always going to be rich. And then the other one is learn to pivot. Learn to pivot. Everything's going to come at you and everything's going to twist up. Learn to pivot while you're loving that process, and you're good to go. But loving the process is important. I don't care what you do as your profession. If you're going to work for sanitation, love the fact that you're cleaning the city. Love the fact that you're making this place a cleaner, safer place for everyone to live. And that's our goal. If they leave and they remember that, love the process, then we do what we're supposed to do.
Have you started to have kids now that you've been going 4 or 5 years, right? Starting to see them go on to college, go on to tech school, go on to vocational school, right?
Yeah.
And kind of keep in touch with them a little bit, right? And see their successes.
Back to Kim. Kim still is in touch with all of our students that have been through the program, a text here and there. Young Air is our Harvard bound, but he not Harvard bound. He's there. He's tearing it up. We have another student that's over studying abroad, filmmaking in London. And then we have our young people that stayed close to home, and they're chasing their dream, going to Mercer County and popping in. And better yet, they come back and they coach our current high school students, Jabri and Naeem. They were my first 2 adopted sons, and they come back, and when I need help, I'm like, pull them aside and work on their monologue with them. And that, to me, is probably the shining moment, right? That they're going off and they're building their life, but they're coming back. Jabri currently is, we always have an ex-student board member. He's currently our student board member. But more importantly, they come in, and then all of a sudden, the last class that we had, they wrote scenes for police officers. Well, they have to look older than you if they're going to play police officers. So I had two of our young students, Jackson and Jabri, come in and play the police officers. Worked out perfectly. And that's what I'm hoping continues. Every year they keep coming back and they keep helping.
So what is the future?
Offer more. Offer more. We're doing independent filmmaking. Next up for us is possibly music studio for, lyrics. And just keep listening, keep listening and just keep growing with the programs and offering everything that they want in the arts that could actually transition into a good career for them.
Because the arts is expansive, right? So, even a film, I find myself sometimes not even realizing, right, how much that the music that's involved in it makes an impact to a scene or all of that stuff, right? Where if it wasn't for that music, the acting would have been exactly the same, but it doesn't have that same impact. Right? So it all kind of goes together.
Yeah, and for anyone who's not involved in filmmaking, sound on every level is the most important thing about a film, whether it's capturing sound on the film set or, as you just mentioned, the music. Most important part of a film, really, of media, anything, sound. Because if you can't hear it, or if it sounds messed up, or you're playing sad music to a happy scene, it's going to mess up your footage.
and then just, as you got these young kids, right, it's three-dimensional chess, right? It's writing the copy. Okay, now visually, how does that going to look? Okay, now what's overlaid over that, right, to really set the mood and set the tone, and it's all those dimensions coming together to create that product.
Right.
And it gets them to think really bigger picture, right, and complex thinking.
Yeah. It's its own form of algebra.
Yeah.
It really is.
I wasn't great at algebra.
I did okay. I did all right with that. It's the spoken language that I did terrible with. And grammar, go figure. Because I read scripts, so there's always ... pause, ... It's not real English. A script isn't proper English, though. But, yeah, what's next for us is to just continue growing, keep our partnership with Hamilton going. I'd be remiss if I didn't thank you and everyone again, because we love our home and we really love where we're at.
And it's infectious for me to have the energy, right? Not only of JRH Foundation, but again going back to campfires, right? Big brothers, big sisters. We've got some plans. We're waiting on hopefully some grant money to do some work at the park immediately adjacent, right? To really kind of build that community up a little bit. So it's exciting stuff for me as well to be a small part of, right, and to lift up the community a little bit.
Well, you and council and everyone else is a big part, because we're there at a very comfortable space, and we're always taken care of. But more importantly, you put us all in one building that makes it so much easier for us just to really join as a unit and do these things. And yes, the playground, what a great place. When we get that moving, that's going to be awesome. We have a lot of great young families there that come and play, and it's just always so fun, especially in the summertime, to walk out like around lunchtime, and the energy in that building is phenomenal. We have to go back to when it was originally built. I think it's been there forever. I think that building itself just has a great educational energy to it since it was built for that.
It certainly does. Well, Joe, really want to thank you for coming on today, but just all you're doing for the youth in our area and giving them a new opportunity for them to realize their passions and find something else about themselves. So thank you very much. Want to thank all of you for, again, tuning in. Thank WBCB 1490 AM and our sponsors, Angelo Onofre in the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office, Capital Health System, Haldeman Ford Subaru, Radiology Affiliate Imaging, and Saul Funeral Homes. In December, we'll be back a little earlier than normal. Usually we do the fourth Tuesday, but that's right around the holidays, so we'll be with you a little earlier in December. So we will see you in December.